Hello there. First off, I'd like to say sorry for the delay on tutorials. I've been really busy with a new job and um, things like that, getting everything set up, and it's been kind of time consuming, so I haven't really had a chance to make anything. But I was, however, messing around in Unreal Engine in my free time, and I built up this building system. Basically, it requires resources. You gather up the wood, and you can create your own buildings, which is based on like a snap grid system and so on. So I just kind of wanted to run through it real quick, show you what it does, and then move on to creating a new project and building it up from scratch and show you guys how I did it. So first I'll kind of hit play, go in here, and so we have our trees here. I did them right in the engine just to kind of show it off. And right now I just have it so when you overlap twice, it knocks the tree down. So we'll go ahead and do that. Our tree falls down, and then our wood spawns in. And we can just overlap those, collect. And at the top corner I have a print string when you hit I that shows how much wood we have. 3. Now we have 6. I'll chop down another one. Grab a little bit more wood. And now we have 12. So the building system itself, I have them on numbers. So when you hit 1, it does basic wall, and it snaps on a grid system. So there's a kind of a bug in it right now. As the lowest I can go is right there, with still being able to utilize the entire wall. And then you hit 1 again, and it locks it in place. So now I hit 2 for a doorway, hit R, and I could rotate it 90 degrees. And they snap pretty well together, as you can see right here. And that's all on how you build the actual meshes themselves, which I'll go through in a little bit. But so we'll hit floor, or 4 for floor. And you see I got that. And every time I use one, it subtracts 1. So you see I have 9 wood in the top corner, where I started with 12. So we'll do another floor. And as you can see, I kind of messed up on building these pieces. There is a slight gap to it. So. But yeah, I mean, you can. Oh, whoops. Messed up there. But I mean, you get the point. So let's go ahead and create a new project. I'm using 4.13.2. Go ahead and do it up. So first, I'll do a third person. Let's call this building tutorial 1. Let's keep the starter content. Go ahead and create that. And now I'm going to be looking at what I had already built, kind of as a reference here. Occasionally, when I built it quite a while ago. So, all right. So the first things is I want to create a true first-person character. So basically, I just turned real-time off, so he's not animated anymore. And I attach the follow camera to the mesh, delete the boom, and then go over to parent socket, and we want to do head. So now we can go ahead and 0 all these out, and then rotate -90 right there, and move it forward just a little bit. Alright, so now we want to check on use pawn rotation, class defaults, rotation yaw. So now if I go ahead in editor mode, you see that we can look around and it's first person. Alright. So now I want to bring in the meshes that I created here. As soon as I find where they are, there they are. Okay, so, and I'll put these in my Google in a zip file, so they'll be in the description for you to download if you want to. So I want to create a new folder, building parts, and I want to go ahead and import all of these. Import all. Save. Okay, and then double click. We want to use complex collision is simple right here. Make sure that's block all, and then save. And we want to do that for all of them. You can do, it's called a vector edit, I think. Asset actions. Property matrix, you can bulk edit that. And I'm pretty sure you can do it from here. Can you? Let me see. Collision, yeah, you can. So if you shift select all of them, do the matrix, you can change it all right there. So you don't have to go one at a time if you have a ton of individual items. Alright, so basically what we want to do is create a blueprint using each one. And we'll do it right there. Doorway mesh, okay. Oh, nope. We want to do doorway VP. Okay. And all you really got to do is just make sure it's at 0 here, which it is. And you want to go ahead and do that for each one. So asset actions, create blueprint, floor VP, and you want it in building parts. And I think you can bulk these too, but I'm not going to. Maybe not, because it's specific, because you're creating a blueprint. So I don't know. I don't know if that would work. I will have to try it out later. Okay, so, and we're done there. Compile, save. And that's all we need for those. And while we're in here, might as well just go ahead and create our wood piece. So, blueprint class actor. I want to create a wood underscore VP. Double click, and we want to add a static mesh. Call it wood. Just use like the 1M cube. And do like 0.7, 0.1, 0.1. There. And then we want to create a box around it. The box collision. And we'll name it wood collide. Just so we'll give it a different name because that'll cause issues. And my other scene uses 2.5, 7.4, 9.9. And that is all wrong. So we'll just go ahead and scale it up the way we want it here. Oh, you know what? I think yeah, never mind. Don't worry about me. And we'll just kind of scale it up so it encompasses it. Because basically the player is going to be colliding with this object. And then, yeah, that looks good. Alright, so an event graph, We're not going to need any of these. We'll just need wood collide on component begin overlap. And now we want to cast to third person character. We want a do once node. Basically what we're doing here is making sure that it's the third person character that collides with the wood collide, and when it does, it'll execute this over here. And then we'll put a destroy actor right here for now, but don't hook it up. We gotta do a piece in between real quick, but we can't do that until we set up the third person character. I just wanted to get that prepared. Okay. And now we want to let's go ahead and set up our tree. And we'll set up our tree blueprint too. Alright, blueprints, actor, and tree BP. Save all. And static mesh, tree, and we'll use the 1M cube. 0.23, 0.42. And I mean, these things don't really matter, honestly, the sizes and stuff. We're just kind of creating it as we go, essentially. This is just kind of a placeholder, I guess you could say. And what I did in order to kind of weigh it down so it fell is I just added a 1M cube and I just offset it a little bit so the physics, the weight, will kind of pull it to one side, because if you didn't do that, it would just kind of teeter-totter on the base. Alright, and now we want a box collision. We'll name this collision for now, and we could go ahead and change this later. It's not vital that this be set up. I just think it kind of gives it a cool look. And we'll do like 3.8 by 3.8, just create a nice little box around it. And then event graph. And I'll do this on event tick for now, just for starters. Branch. We want to create a health variable, and that'll be a float. And actually, I'm going to rename this to tree health, just so it's not confusing. Hold control, drag out, and you'll get your tree health. And then equal to, put it in here. So if it's less than or equal to 0, it will perform the task we want. And we want to do once. Set simulate physics, and we want the tree. And this is basically what makes it fall over. And then we'll do a delay of like 6 seconds. And we want a for loop, well, not for each loop, we want a for loop. Plug that guy in, and this is where you're kind of determine how many you want spawned in. So I'll do like 6 of them, between 0 and 5. And then we want to spawn actor from class, and we'll get our wood BP. Get actor location. And basically we want to get the location of the tree itself. On the Z, we want to add like 100. So it spawns above the ground so it doesn't get caught inside. So we'll split both of these. We'll split you again. Bam. 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 Alright, and now the last bit. I want to get wood. And then we want to set simulate physics on that as well. So it'll kind of pop out and fly everywhere. And then we want to destroy actor. And self, of course, so we're destroying the tree itself. And then we want to actually be able to interact with it, so the player hits it. So click on your collision, begin overlap. Do the same thing, cast to third person character. And we want to set health, hold Alt, drag out, and then control the drag out to do it. To get it, I mean. Minus 50. Bam, and bam. Okay, so our tree's done. So now, if I just drag this guy into the level, play. That is interesting. Why did it do that? It shouldn't have. Aha! We have to set the health. So grab your tree health and set it to 100. Now, hit it. Hit it again. Fall over. And our wood spawns from it. Of course, we can't pick it up because we never finished that code. But all right, so now all of that should be set up. Let's go ahead and grab our character. And this is a very, very simple system. I pretty much built it very basic, just so it works. There is tons of room for improvement on this. So we want to event begin play, and I'm just going to kind of start from the top and work my way down. So instead of using an event tick, I like using set timer by function name, and I'll just call it track position. Set the time to 0.001 and then check there. So now we can add custom event and call that capitals do matter. And excuse me for one moment. Very sorry. Alright, sorry about that. That was my vet calling me, reminding me of my appointment tomorrow for my dogs. Okay, so we're going to need a bunch of booleans. So first one would be wall underscore true. Second one will be doorway underscore true. Third one will be window underscore true. Floor underscore true. And now we need some floats. First one's rotation. We'll make it a float. Second one is tile size. And the last one we'll do is wood. Alright, so we'll do branch. If you hold B and click down, you can do branch. So we'll do if wall's true, we want to perform an action. And let's go ahead and make that real quick. Yeah, so we'll make a function. We'll call it follow mouse. We want two inputs. First one is actor reference. That'll be of type actor. And then the second one will be our tile size. And that's be a float. Alright, so we want to get our follow camera, world location, get forward vector, and we're going to be doing some math in order to calculate the grid and stuff. So here we'll do a times by float, and we'll do like 500. And then we want to add vector plus vector here, and then we want to split the struct pin. Alright. So now we want to divide float by float from our tile size. And we want to round that. And then we want to times, we want to float by float times, I want this in the bottom here, so it creates that node. And then this guy will go to the tile size as well. Okay, so pretty much we want to do the same exact thing for the other ones. So Y, top one, here, 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 top one, here. Okay. And basically this is just calculating excuse me, this is calculating based on a grid of whatever the tile size we set, what's directly in front of it. So the forward vector times 500, it'll place the object 500 units ahead of the character. So like if you're doing a line trace for like firing a weapon, let's say, you would do like 1500, so you had a decent range. Or like a sniper rifle would be like 3000 or 5000 or whatever. You know, it's kind of exaggerating, but still you get the point. And then we want to drag out set actor location. We want that there, and then split our struct pin and place our X, Y, and Z right in there. That's all she wrote. So we'll go back to our event graph here. We want to, if true, follow mouse. And then our tile size will go into here. And let's see, what did I set that at? 50? I'll put you at 50. Alright, so basically we're going to be doing the same exact thing for every single Boolean we have. So we'll go ahead and bam, on false, bam, on false, bam. Then we just want to change out the Booleans. So doorway, window, floor. All right. This would, I mean, we essentially could do a for each loop, put these all in an array, and do it that way. But this kind of, I feel like this kind of spells it out better, I guess you could say, making it a little bit easier to see what's going on here. So one input, no, not that, 1, 2. You could do these at any keys that you want. I'm just doing it between 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so what we want to do is flip-flop. And we want to set while true, true, set while true, false. And yeah, we could go ahead and do that. Why not? So we'll make a new macro. Subtract wood. Alright, and now for the inputs we need 2. We need 1, that's an execute. And subtract wood. Just because. Or you could do, I think it's that. No, what is it? What was it? There we go. You could do type in then, and nothing shows up, keeps it blank. And then this one will be resource cost float, and then you want to execute true and false. Oops. False. There we go. Alright, so now we want a branch. We want our wood. And do greater than or equal to that. I'll grab our wood again. Subtract resource cost from wood we have. And then let's go ahead and set our wood. And then on false, just do false. Okay. So now that we have that, we can bring that guy out and just set 1 on that. And then on true, we want to spawn actor. We'll do wall BP. And then just go ahead and split this. You don't have to do anything here because we're changing the actor's location. You just gotta plug the return value into the thing down below. And that's it for that. We'll go ahead and do that after. Okay, so it's up to you if you want to wait to do this, but I'm just going to merge this into the top one. We have the wall true, and we want to plug actor reference into the return value on the spawn. Okay, so basically we want to do pretty much the same exact thing. Again, this, and just with the next one. True. And we want doorway. Right? Yep, doorway. Return value. Look down in there. And of course, again, we could totally create variables for all this stuff so we don't have all these pieces going around. So you could definitely do that if you want to. You know, right click, promote to variable. And then down here, just plug that variable into the corresponding one. You could do that, that would work fine as well. I just don't really see a point. This kind of splits it up quite enough so you guys can see how it's done, if that makes sense. You know, be able to visually see what exactly is going on with this here. Return value, plug into U, and base those one last time for floor. True. Alright. And then floor. Bam. And bam. Okay. So that's pretty much that so far. So basically what's happening here is you hit the number 1 on the keyboard and it will set this to true. It'll subtract the wood from the player's wood count, and then it'll spawn the wall. And then off the return value, we're plugging it into follow mouse, which is being ticked every 0.001 second. So it'll constantly follow the point on the screen, as long as this is true, which of course we're setting right here. Then when you hit it again, it'll set it to false, which we will create in a second. But basically setting it to false will stop it from being tracked, and that's actually, technically placing it out into the level. Let's see, there's a few other things we need to do. First, I want to get a delete going, and we'll set that at 0. And I would just want to copy all these, because we're going to be using this sequence. Alright, and basically we just want to destroy actor on true. And just make sure we plug in the corresponding return values. Alright, there we go. Oh, and you also want to set these to false afterwards. Alright, and now we need to set up our rotation. So again, copy all these, do it on R for rotate. Okay, and then set get, let's get over here, plus 190. To set actor rotation, split, and we want it on the Z. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. It's pretty much the same thing, but I'm picky. And again, we want to hook up the corresponding pieces. Again, I mean, this is a really sloppy way of doing this. I don't know, I might go through and do it differently after. Um, and let's do an indicator for our wood here. Just do print string, um, append string, pop it right there, right in wood, space, colon, space, enter, wood here, so there. So now when we press I, we'll be able to print out how much wood we actually have. Okay, so now that that's all done, I want to go back to our wood, and we left this area blank here. And we left it blank because we need to set our wood. Get wood plus 1 there, and then we'll destroy actor. Okay, so now that's all set up. Now let's give it a shot and see if it works. Okay, so I'll press I. We don't have any wood. Drop this guy down. Pick up our wood. Now I have 6 wood. And it's not working. Let's see why. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I missed something, it seems. Give me a minute so I can find what I did wrong here. Did I plug those into the wrong thing? No. Okay, wall. Back to reference. No floor. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not quite sure where I made the mistake. Yeah, that's not the problem. This is alright. this again. Okay, so that's working. And it's subtracting it, but so that's the macro that's causing the problem like that. I must have done the wrong. Aha! Right here. This should be on bottom, wood on top. So it's checking if wood is greater than or equal to the resource cost. And then it subtracts. Okay, so if you go back into the macro in the third person character, you'll be able to see that. And just switch these two around. So now, we can't spawn anything. But if I break this guy down, grab all the wood, now you have 6 wood. Now, all of our pieces fit in together. And now we can, oh, and also before you place it, if you make a mistake, you can hit 0 now to get rid of it. So if I do this, you'll see it's there. You can hit 0 and it'll get rid of it. Sometimes it deletes ones you've already placed. Oh, that's just a little bug. I'm gonna have to look into that. But yeah, so that's pretty much the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll error. Let's see what's going on. Access none. Trying to read property. Okay, so that's just a simple. I'm not quite sure why it's doing that, because it doesn't do that on my other version. So it must be a variable or something that I'm missing, honestly. Because it has the issue in follow mouse. Yeah, I'm destroying the actor. And oh, you know what'll fix that? Destroying it before. I bet you if I set this to false first, it'll actually destroy the right actor. But alright, well I'm gonna stop it there. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll put out another tutorial kind of refining this system, making it a little bit better. And hopefully eventually get back to the Planet Explorers series. That one's going to take me a bit more time to mess with, because there's a few things that I want to fix in it. I want to go back and refine everything. Obviously on video, I'll do it all live so you guys can see that. A lot of stuff I don't know what I was doing. I mean, I knew what I was doing, but I don't know why I did certain things the way I did them. So, alright, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.